Alright, folks. This is Lauren, and I've got a bit of a topic here about diversity in the context of a classroom. Some of the things we're going to go through is what it is, my thoughts, whether it's good, bad, or bad thing, what everybody's striving for, how do we promote the unity and diversity, and why is it or what is it important in our classroom and why. Well, the basic definition is being composed of different elements such as race, culture, ethnicity, gender, religion, education, economic and socioeconomic statuses. Yeah. Alright, my thoughts on diversity. It's not necessarily a big deal if you don't make a big deal about it. But there's some instances where diversity is important, and there's other instances where you just want the end result to look a certain way. You don't really care. So, one instance where we don't really care what they are would be an NFL lineman. You know, you gotta be big, you gotta be strong, and you gotta be male. If you fit those 3 criteria and have played college ball, you're probably going to be an NFL lineman. You know, it's one of those things where you don't really care whether or not you need those issues, like with all the hub about we need diversity because we need diversity. If you got diversity for diversity's sake, you're probably going to mess up. Anyway, an example of good diversity would be a NASCAR team. We got a driver, crew chief, car chief, the engineers, which go from the transmission, engine, cooling system, electronics, chassis, body, to race strategists, how their car is performing, what data is being used, how their driver's running. That's what our engineers look at. We have the tire technician, because tires are a big deal. You know, you want to know what your car is doing, how your driver's running, and how you can prevent tire wear. Got the gas man, big dog guy, shoves gas in the car. We got the guy that jumps over the wall and rips the tire off the Lexan windshield and gives the driver water and Gatorade and whatever else he needs. Then we got the front and rear tire changers. These guys got to be fast. They got to be explosive. They got to have that hand-eye coordination to hit all the lug nuts with their air wrench. And then we got the tire changers. Not the tire changers, the tire carriers. Sorry. The tire carriers are strong guys. They got to hold that 65, 75 pound tire up, extended arm out, set that thing on the rim onto the hub, and get it mounted. So they gotta have the strength. Gotta have that jackman. He's gotta carry that jack around. He's gotta have speed and precision on jacking that up. And then one of the last things would be the owner of the team. You know, you can't really have diversity unless your owner is sort of funneling that down to all you people, all the people beneath him. So that's what we look at as a good part of diversity. We got a wide range of people, ethnicities, race, genders. You know, that's a great example of diversity. Now a bad example would be Google. They're just trying to get diversity in there just so they're culturally relevant. We don't need culturally relevant businesses. We need businesses that give us the product, and we don't care how they do it, really. When you think about it, you're not going to say, I'm going to choose Honda over Toyota because Honda has more women engineers and minority engineers. You're more or less concerned about the car, okay? So that's where, if you strive for diversity, you're going to miss some of those pieces that are important. But if you constantly just focus on one sector, you're going to get in trouble for discrimination. So that's where, if you rule out diversity, it can be a bad thing. When a specific look is needed, like, you don't want diversity when you need that specific look. One example I can think of would be Willie the Wildcat. You gotta have that a person tall and strong. You want a male, because it just wouldn't quite look right if Willie was running around as a female. We're just striving for that specific look, okay? You don't want a number of different people, very different looking, for that position. Not to say that would be a good or bad thing, but that's just an example. So what everybody is striving for in diversity is, we really want unity. We want a good product. We want a good group. We want to value every last piece of the group. Not on a level playing field per se, but a playing field where if one piece is missing, the whole thing is skewed. Sort of makes sense what I'm getting at. We want to have that value of every aspect of the group. If we don't have this person, we're losing something. As opposed to, we want this person so we look perfect and whatever else. Got the diversity aspect down. So how do we promote unity and diversity? Well, it's fairly simple. You got respect, love, vision, and hope. You got to respect a person for who they are. It's just basic human rights. And you got to love a person, because if you hate that person, you're probably not going to include them. You're going to kick them out. Third piece is vision. You got to know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, you're going to mess up. You're going to fail every time. So if we know we want unity and diversity, that's sort of our vision. If we don't have that, we're going to just go off the track. Fourth, we gotta know that this is going to work. This is who we are, and this is where we're going. That's not to say, I hope I make it and run the other way. So that's just that piece of hope I'm looking at. So, why is it important in the classroom with our business content? We deal with people every day in business. The actual part of business is easy. But when you put people in the mix, then's when it gets hard. It's important in the classroom because we need to model what we're going to be doing out in the real world. We're outside the classroom, and then we know that this diverse group is our market. It's our workforce. It's the people who make up our HR. It's our accounting, sales, you name it. If it's got people in it, there's going to have to be some diversity. And when we look at our nation, let's take the city of, let's say, Kansas City. We've got at least 1 million people there. Just conservative estimate that are white. And within that group there's how many people that are different? Probably 1 million. Any given number right there would work. So that's some of the pieces we look at. It's our world. You take Japan. There's very few Americans in Japan. You take China. There's very few Japanese in China. You take America, there's everybody there. You take Mexico, there's Mexicans there. You know, and each has their own part. And when you bring them all together, it makes that cohesion real nice. Anyway, it creates a synergy and everything just locks in, and you got something a whole lot stronger. And when you incorporate that into your classroom, you hold that close, you build on it, and make it strong in the classroom, you're impacting the world. So, as we have this diversity piece under control, we'll find another place that's out of control. Pretty simple. Enjoy your diversity.